As we join you right now live here at 5 on WHAS 11 News, it's the first report we've been waiting for on the UPS crash, and it came fast. The NTSB finding signs of fatigue cracks and overstress failure in the left engine that flew off the jet. Hello, everyone. I'm Doug Proffitt.
And I'm Connie Leonard. This morning, the NTSB released its preliminary report into the crash that killed 14 people and injured 23 others.
Take a close look here. The stunning new photos released today by the NTSB in the report. The jet isn't fully off the runway yet on Tuesday, November 4th, when that left engine and its pylon connection lifts off the wing and into the air above it, and it's on fire.
And that's just one major new detail in this first report, which is not the final investigation again. That could be a year away. We also learned a fact about how high the jet was actually able to climb. WHAS 11 Focus reporter Travis Breeze has been following the investigation closely.
And Travis is joining us right now. And Travis, it's really clear even more now after reading through this report that this flight crew had no ability to abort this flight, but really to follow the procedure, which was to take off.
I think we knew that whatever happened to the left engine and the pylon happened very far down the runway, but these photos show today now that it was not until the moment that that plane tipped upwards that the left engine and the pylon departed the left wing. We now know that that is majorly because of a crack on the aft mount of the left pylon. The NTSB released frame-by-frame screenshots of the final moments of takeoff. The report says the taxi and takeoff were normal until the plane rotated or pointed up. In picture 2, you can see the left engine and pylon pointed up. By photos 3 and 4, the engine is completely airborne, separate from the plane, and on fire.
There was a lot of speculation early on that there may have been a catastrophic failure of the engine which led to it separating from the aircraft. This particular report puts that theory to bed.
Greg Feith was a senior NTSB investigator from 1980 to 2001. The wing of the MD-11 connects to the pylon, which then connects to the engine. The report says the aft mount of the left pylon broke during takeoff. Here is a photo of that recovered aft mount. It says there were fatigue cracks and overstress failures on that part.
It's kind of like working a paper clip back and forth. You continue to bend that paper clip, it'll eventually fail in fatigue.
The report also says the plane didn't make it more than 30 feet high in the air. The report says the plane was not late or overdue on any maintenance in this area. The plane was over 8,000 cycles away from needing a special detailed inspection of the left pylon. It was nowhere near those inspections.
That's going to prompt them to make the determination as to what the remedial action will be and whether or not they have to shorten that inspection cycle.
This photo shows the plane clearing the fence at the end of the runway, barely above these semi-trailers. In this photo obtained by WHAS 11, you can see the left landing gear scraped the top of this UPS Supply Chain Solutions building. Do you think if the landing gear didn't strike the building, it could have flown a decent distance?
There is a high probability that the airplane would have continued to fly, but again, there were other high-level obstructions further down that flight path.
So, Travis, this is the 12-page report obtained today. They put it out right at 11 a.m. As you heard more of the evidence today, the age of the plane is 34 years old, but is the age as important as the number of flying hours? There's a distinction there.
I think that the age of the plane wasn't mentioned in the report as a factor. I mean, it says in the report that it was up to date on all of its maintenance, and just because the plane was 34 years old, I don't think we can say definitively that every part in it was 34 years old. And it's very common for these MD-11s to be this old. And so, like Greg said in that story, the big thing now is going to be deciding, were these maintenance cycles too long? Because the plane that crashed, it was probably years away from having one of these checks. So that's what they're going to be looking at.
That's an interesting point, and we're going to be hearing from the ABC News aviation expert on that very point at 6 o'clock. Thank you,
Thanks,
Travis. Connie?
Well, we want to move now to continued coverage on the devastation caused by the crash. Grade A Recycling was hit harder than any other business south of the airport. 3 Grade A employees died, along with more customers. And our Ian Hardwick spoke to the owner about the NTSB preliminary report that was released earlier today.
Plus, we are hearing from one of Grade A's last customers the day of the crash.
Some kind of blast of momentum knocked everybody in the building over. You could see nothing but fire coming toward the entrance, you know, and all the windows. You just couldn't see around it at all.
Clifton Smith was a regular customer at Grade A Recycling before UPS Flight 2976 decimated the area.
We had to dive out a window, up and out of a window.
He ran from a curtain of fire on November 4th.
And everything behind us just kept exploding. We ran for maybe a quarter mile toward the landfill back there at Waste Management.
Smith also lost his truck and trailer he used for scrapping in the fire that came after the crash. He's working with UPS's insurance adjusters on a replacement, but that means he's out of work like the dozens of people who haven't been able to make it past the barricade into the crash site.
In the back of a car dealership, Grade A Auto Parts operates under a new name, Phoenix Parts.
And everyone here was impacted because everyone here was right on that crash site and saw it.
Sean Garber owns Grade A Recycling. He says the 3 employees who died in the crash, Trina Chavez, Megan Washburn, and John Locks, all stayed late.
Our people were doing the extra mile because they were committed.
Garber points out the fatigue cracks around the engine mount released in a preliminary NTSB report on UPS Flight 2976.
It just doesn't sit right when you have loss of life, loss of business, so many people's lives impacted on a matter that is clearly avoidable.
Those were real people in there. They were nice people.
Real people Smith can't get out of his head.
I don't sleep well.
But he is thankful for one thing.
And if Will's watching, man, thank you, bro.
The man who helped him escape the crash site that stays blocked off. In Louisville, Ian Hardwick, WHAS11, on your side.
Sean Garber did not rule out a potential lawsuit against UPS when we asked him about it today.
He said it's unknown when he'll be allowed back at Grade A Recycling, citing environmental cleanup.
Also today, UPS releasing a statement in support of the NTSB's investigation. The statement saying, "We continue to grieve for the lives lost in the tragic accident involving Flight 2976. We appreciate the National Transportation Safety Board's prompt release of preliminary findings and will fully support the investigation through its conclusion."
Today, Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear spoke on the aftermath of the plane crash, saying 57 businesses were damaged, and his disaster declaration was approved by the U.S. Small Business Administration.
Businesses here in Jefferson, also bullet-hardened, Oldham, Shelby, and Spencer counties can apply for economic injury disaster loans until next August.
This week, my request was approved. I even had a friend whose business was directly impacted, hit the worst, that lost 3 employees, reach out after this news and say that it gave him hope. Remember, these are businesses that folks depend on for jobs, to put food on the table. They're really important for our families.
Beshear also went on to say that Kentuckiana needs to show community support during the holidays and support the families impacted by this event.
And we want to turn now to the victims of Flight 2976, which killed 14 people and injured 23 others. Last week, the Jefferson County coroner identified all 14 victims, including the 3 pilots, a 3-year-old girl, and numerous others who were at those nearby businesses. And since the crash, we have shown you a public vigil, plus the victims being honored in front of big crowds at college games here in Louisville.
Tonight, it's a free concert by the Louisville Orchestra at the Kentucky Center for the Performing Arts downtown on Main Street. WHS11 night teams Jose Alonso and photojournalist Levi Hammer are covering it for us tonight. And Jose, this coming now 1 week before Thanksgiving, the holiday's certainly going to be a tough time for many families after this crash.
Doug, Connie, that's right. It's going to be a tough holiday season for those families of the 14 victims who lost their lives, who were, by the way, invited to tonight's concert at the Kentucky Center for the Performing Arts. Right now, you kind of hear behind me, they're testing those mics as they are getting ready for the concert. But also take a look right here next to me. We're inside Whitney Hall, and there's still empty seats here, but we anticipate these seats to be filled by Louisvillians who are looking for that community tonight as they want to attend this free concert. In the parking garage, it's also free to use tonight, as the music director of the Louisville Orchestra, Teddy Abrams, says they wanted to make this as inviting as possible for the public. Abrams says the audience should anticipate to hear 6 pieces, along with acknowledgments from Mayor Craig Greenberg, the first responders from November 4th, and a moment of silence.
It's a chance for people that might pray or believe different things or feel spirituality in a different way, but this is for all of them together. And the community needs that. If they can leave feeling that Louisville is a strong place that supports our fellow citizens, then the music will have done its job.
Again, this is a community moment of reflection for the 14 lives that were lost 2 weeks ago when a UPS cargo jet crashed just south of the Muhammad Ali International Airport. The program says tonight the mayor will be reading their names aloud. And of course, the concert hall, this is anticipated to fill up within the next hour as the doors officially open here at 6 o'clock and the concert following suit at 7 o'clock. Reporting live at the Kentucky Center for the Performing Arts, Jose Alonso, WHAS11 on your side.
All right, Jose, thank you so much. And stay in touch with WHS 11 News and watch our coverage live. Download the free WHS 11 Plus app. It's free to download on your Roku, Fire, and Apple TV.
And then moments from now, our team coverage of this major day in the UPS plane crash investigation continues at 5:30. WHS 11's longtime aviation expert, Louisville pilot and weather impact team member Reed Yaden is joining Connie and I live and talk about his insight into those early findings.
All right, more rain coming into the area tonight.
It's drizzly rain today.
Right.
Not a fun rain, Connie. I don't know. There are fun rains you can have out there. This one was not one of them. Meteorologist Austin Evans joining us live with the forecast. Hey, Austin.
Hey, Doug, Connie, yes, not a fun rain today. Not going to be a fun rain tomorrow, really, either. But the good news is that most of it has moved out, at least for now. Again, that's not going to last. Got still a few showers in the southern zones of Kentucky. And looking ahead, though, these are the 3 things you need to know. Now we still have that dreary and cool evening ahead of us, and we're tracking widespread rain for your Friday. That's new. What's next? We're tracking some rain to begin your Thanksgiving weekend, and just how much that's going to affect Thanksgiving, you'll just have to wait until the 7-day forecast. I do have that brief look. Here's a look at our 4-box Trimark camera, and things are slow right now. In general, take it easy out there. Roads are wet. Give yourself plenty of time to stop in between you and the vehicle in front of you. And it's a pretty calm evening, at least now, here in the Louisville metro area. We're in the lower 50s right now, and Kentuckiana, for the most part, in the lower 50s.
Austin, thank you. Now to the other major developing story today. GE once again showing its love for Louisville tonight, doubling down on its U.S. and Kentucky investment.
Today, GE Appliances announcing $40 million is going to 4 of its Kentucky plastic suppliers, including one homegrown business headquartered in J-Town.
Our senior reporter Isaiah Kim Martinez and photojournalist Jessica Farley are breaking down the new investment at Appliance Park.
Much of the plastic that goes into these washing machines produced inside Louisville's Appliance Park comes directly from a homegrown company whose world headquarters is in Jeffersontown's Industrial Park. Jones Plastic, founded in 1961 by Louisville natives Harry and Larry Jones, is now getting a brand new contract from GE Appliances as the Louisville-based company works to solidify its suppliers close to home.
GE chose to bring laundry production to Louisville, reshoring production from China to Kentucky, and now they're reshoring suppliers too.
Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear applauding a $40 million investment by GE Appliances to 4 different plastic molding facilities across Kentucky, including the Jones Plastic location in Williamsburg and the southeastern part of the state. Lee Lago Marchino, GE Appliances Vice President for Clothes Care, joined the governor in Frankfort.
Kentucky is a great climate for business, and a great climate for investment.
The announcement comes as GE Appliances doubles down on its American and Kentucky footprint. Shortly after Donald Trump's tariffs were announced, the company this summer said it was pouring nearly $500 million into Louisville's Appliance Park to make a new line of washing machines here instead of China. It'll mean a complete remodel of assembly lines in one of the buildings at Appliance Park and 800 new jobs here in Louisville. Isaiah Kim Martinez, WHAS 11 on your side.
And that investment by GE Appliances today totals $150 million to businesses across 10 states.
And that includes states in the South, Midwest, and California. GE holding a news conference late today about all this, and we'll have a live report on the investment tonight at 6.